Fernando Valley is scared and on edge tonight after a string of burglaries targeting expensive homes, often when the occupants are inside. They tell us they see vehicles scoping out neighborhoods and worry who might be next.
Samantha Cortez is live in Woodland Hills, where residents are banding together to demand more protection and consequences for criminals. Sam.
Mike and Cher, they met tonight over a Zoom meeting to talk about how they need to have each other's backs, be their own neighborhood watch, because they feel there are no consequences for the people who do break into these homes. We're standing on a street where one of those homes was broken into just this last weekend. They say the soft on crime policies have led to all these break-ins, but tonight the DA's office is pushing back.
The only way that I'm going to escape from this hell is move to another state.
Home burglary victims like Dr. Andres Godinez in the San Fernando Valley are fed up.
It's not really the fault of the police officers. It's a fault of our politicians. They are to blame.
Tonight, Woodland Hills neighbors are discussing preventative measures they can take, since they don't feel there's any deterrent through the criminal justice system.
And even the police officer said, unfortunately, they're changing cars. So you guys have to know your neighbor's cars to know what is what. And I said, you know what? That is true.
The Bon Vivant neighborhood discussed private security, adding glass shatter detectors, even gating the neighborhood.
At the end of the day, if I don't have my neighbors and I don't have all our surrounding neighbors helping and getting together to be able to solve this problem, nothing is going to work.
This surveillance video from Dr. Godinez's home on Winnetka shows brazen criminals walking around a home in daylight. Another nearby house in Woodland Hills was also targeted over the weekend. TMZ reports that home belongs to rapper and social media influencer Bad Baby. And a home in Encino was also targeted by thieves twice in the last week. It's not yet known whether the crimes are connected.
I feel like it's the wild, wild west out here now. Like, there are no laws. I mean, we're in contact with our local police department.
Absolutely insane.
We go to the neighborhood watch,
check this one out.
And the law enforcement is just as frustrated as we are.
Behave badly, get rewarded.
Yep.
And those that behave, get screwed.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office tells KTLA in part.
Stand by. Yeah, man, it's happening everywhere, man. Check this dude out. This is a rapper in LA. I ain't never heard of Cat, to be honest with you. I ain't really up on these new rap dudes. I'm still listening to Biggie Smalls and Pac and Public Enemy, and you know what I'm saying? I'm still listening to the same shit I listened to back when I was a youngster, man, to be honest with you guys. Check this out, though.
Home surveillance footage showing a group of thieves breaking into the Encino home of platinum-selling rapper Blast. He posted this video to Instagram. It shows 3 men slink into his backyard and shatter his glass patio door to get inside. Later, they run out with several items in their arms. Blast was out of town at the time, promoting his new album. The rapper, understandably frustrated, says he feels empty, that he wasn't there to protect his family, and he asks for people's prayers.
Yeah, so now these guys don't rob the gun store, so now we got all these illegal guns out there floating around, but yet we still want to talk gun control. Gun control does not stop criminals. It only enables law-abiding, tax-paying citizens from protecting themselves. Check this nonsense out.
Gun store burglary in Orange is now the center of a federal investigation. ATF agents are working with Orange County detectives to track down the 8 men who used stolen cars to ram the store and then steal dozens of guns. NBC4's Hetty Chang live at the store right now with some new details about the investigation. Hetty?
Well, Colleen, you can see how the storefront looks like now. Police say this is where that group of men used that stolen Kia to ram into the store. They were in and out within 2 minutes. Now, law enforcement tells us the burglars did leave a few things behind, including a bag, and inside that bag, jewelry they believe was taken in another burglary. The early morning heist at the Fowler Gunroom Saturday is caught on the store's many security cameras. Watch how several men climb out of 3 cars, which Orange
that's so
detectives
kind of
say
them. They didn't
stole
park in the
from nearby
handicap
just
spot.
before the burglary around
Man,
5
classy.
a.m. One man uses the stolen gray Kia to ram the front of the gun shop. It takes 3 tries before he's able to break through the store's armored glass and security gates. 8 men wearing masks and hoodies, some equipped with headlamps and sledgehammers, ransacked the store, breaking glass cases. Within 2 minutes, the store owners tell us the group stole 85 handguns and rifles worth
that's a
hundreds
lot
of
of
thousands
firearms.
of dollars.
We are concerned about
That's a
any
lot
type
of firearms.
of firearms that's out there in the criminals' hands that are going to be used to commit robberies, burglaries, any sort of crime.
The crew left 1 car in front of the store, and police say they ditched the other 2 cars nearby. Police say the break-in was carefully coordinated and believed to be connected to at least 1 other gun store robbery in Camarillo recently.
We believe that this is a series, and that's why we are working
Absolutely
and
out of
collaborating
control.
with ATF on
Hey,
this
stand
case.
by.
While police do their investigative work, loyal customers are working with the longtime family-owned business owners who say they are devastated. Saturday morning, a customer who owns a construction company began boarding up the storefront.
It's just sad to do it to, like I said, this is my store too.
And this Marine, a 30-year customer, says he wants to make sure no one else thinks about breaking in again.
I volunteered that if they needed a night watch, I will work with their employees.
Man, God bless you, man. Salute this gentleman right here.
And,
We need more Americans like that.
I kind of got my own weapons.
He said, I kind of got my own weapons. Hey, man, stand by.
Loyal
YouTube, what's going on? Back with another video, as y'all saw. Home invasions, robberies. Man, you can go back to my other home invasion video. I was telling y'all it's going to be a wild summer. Wild, wild, wild summer. I was telling y'all it's going to be a wild summer. Hope everybody's doing well, man. Oh, man, I'm just chilling, man. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but I'm actually recording it on Sunday, June 21st. And first, before I get started, I want to say, YouTube, I'm in a safe, controlled environment. No children around. Every area is cleared. There's nothing around here. These firearms have all been safety checked. Everything good. But fair use on all the videos, YouTube. That's on public media, KTVU, KTLA. That's all free use. So bad, man. You saw on the thumbnail, the clips. Let's go to the first one. So the first one was that the doctor, the guy whose home was invaded in the daytime. And I was telling you guys, it don't even matter. Day, night, evening. And also, if you catch that first clip, you notice that the news reporter said that there was 3 vehicles parked in the car in a driveway, and they still just rolled up in there, just completely brazen. And I want to bring up a point on if I sound a little under the weather, man. My family well, it's not just me, but our family, it's a cold going around. I'm just now getting over it, so I'm drinking ice water. That definitely gets you back online. But if you notice, they didn't care it was daylight. They didn't care there was vehicles in the driveway. Neighbors are home. They don't care about any of that. But one thing I picked up, I don't know if y'all picked up, that first robbery, you notice they didn't have no firearms. Well, they didn't show them. I don't know if they didn't have them. I ain't gonna go that far. But I was telling you, the way the LA County, these passive aggressive laws they put in, these guys are smart. Like they're not that smart. They're idiots because they're robbing people, but they're smart in the sense they know, like, if I can rob somebody and not have a firearm on me, it's a lesser charge if I get caught. Now, if you come in with a firearm, now you just escalated it to another level of criminality. So I think they was pretty much conscious of that, because I mean, they went into this dude's house and didn't have guns drawn. So that is absolutely nuts to me. And that's what surveillance. I was telling you, your cameras don't mean nothing to these cats. That don't deter them at all. There's really no deterrence. Now, before somebody want to go in on the Golden State and say, oh, that's because liberal California, man, get up out of here, dude. You can go to T Electric's channel, and he lives in Detroit, Michigan, and that's quote unquote a free state. And T Electric puts his home videos up just like this, and they do the same thing in Detroit. So don't give me that liberal left stuff. And there's a report out of Dallas, Texas, where a dude was home invaded with his kids at home and everything, had his kids down, gunpoint, everything. That's in Texas.
So you think that these criminals give a shit about liberal, left, right? Y'all wasting y'all time with all that because criminals don't give a shit about the left or the right. And just for the record, a lot of these criminals aren't even from the West Coast. A lot of those criminals that doing those robberies in Michigan and in surrounding states, these guys be coming in state to do these criminal acts. So it ain't the people actually necessarily living there. They got imported criminals now. They importing themselves into areas where they can get the criminal activity on. So it's not left, it's not right, it's not all that. Yeah, there's some gun laws and restrictions out in California, but if you're paying attention to all these acts, there ain't nobody at home. Now you saw the other one where the dude shot the home invaders and whatnot. One of them, I don't know, he's in critical condition. But my point is, politics do not matter to home invaders, criminal felons. They don't vote. They don't have the right to vote. A lot of them already got felonies on it, so they can't vote. They lost all their civil rights. So we need to get off of that as tax-paying, law-abiding citizens. We need to stop that whole left, right, California. Oh, they're man. You can go scour the news reports all across America, and you get the same video feeds. So I don't want to hear, because the liberal gun laws and all that, the liberal, arrest and release and all that, it doesn't really matter. A lot of these cats who are doing these criminal acts have never been caught. Some have never been caught. They're not even on paperwork. So it's so many layers to it. But the one thing that don't matter is the gun laws and the prosecutorial laws and how they're going to proceed and implementing their punishment. That has no impact on a criminal-minded person. And that's why you need to be seriously heavily armed, and you need to get and also another thing, like I said, daytime, nighttime, it don't matter. They're coming. They're going to come when they want to come. And you saw the other report with a guy saying that we need to form a neighborhood watch and all that. And I was telling you, it's funny because when this stuff happens in lower community areas, there's nobody talking like that. Well, we need to look out for each other. Nah, because in the lower income areas in rural America and the Midwest and Nebraska and Iowa and Missouri and all these areas where people say, "Oh man, I mind my own business. I don't worry about all that." They got the same issues in the Midwest. Don't let nobody fool you. Anybody from the Midwest, tap in. If you live in Nebraska, you live in Colorado, you live in Iowa, you live in Kansas City, Missouri, or the state of Kansas. Everybody mixed that up. Kansas City is in Missouri. Kansas is a state. So KCMO is what they call it. If you living out in those little areas, tap in. Let us know. Same thing happening in y'all areas too. It's just that there's some people feel like, well, that's those big cities, metropolitan areas where all the liberals are at, and that's where all that's going down at. See, there's that kind of mindset where you're gonna get your door kicked in if you think like that, because they don't report what goes on in little buttfuck Columbia, Missouri, or little Topeka, Kansas, or outside of outskirt of Lincoln, Nebraska. That ain't gonna make no major news. That ain't a home invasion in Montana. Ain't gonna make the mass media news. That's gonna make a little local news report in Montana or something. But it happens there too, guys. Airbnbs are getting robbed. Summer vacation homes are getting robbed. There's a case. I follow a lot of the high country. If you want to know what the high country is, that's like Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, the Dakotas, all that area, Utah, the mountain areas. And because I worked up there. I told y'all I worked in that Wyoming area, and there's a report came out in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Anybody know where Jackson Hole, Wyoming is? Tap in. Used to be a nice little place. People go out there, vacation, party. They have concerts out there. You can go hunt and do all kind of nice little areas. Super expensive now. They don't gentrify that area. Now you got the yuppies and the tech boys went out there and took over that area. So now the criminal elements following the tech. They following where the money goes. They follow the monies where because if you know those reports I put up, those are pretty nice communities. Quote, shout out to T Electric. Like he said, there's still nice neighborhoods, but no place is safe. Man, that is legit like a mug. So those areas are nice communities, but you saw it doesn't deter them. You saw the rapper dude got his house robbed. I don't know who that rapper dude is. Blast. I ain't never heard of these cats, but I don't follow rap. So I'm into reggae, jazz music. I've been listening to some old school Miles Davis lately, going to work, listening to Miles, I'm listening to I'm listening to jazz music. I'm listening to instrumentals a lot more now. I don't even want to hear the lyrics because it's all whack. And if I do listen to old hip hop, I'm going back to the Beastie Boys and Run DMC and all those cats. So I don't really mess around with all that new mumble rap, all that kill, 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 suck, suck, suck. I don't get down with that stuff. But getting back on point, so this is happening everywhere in America. So if you thinking that this is just isolated to California, New York, Chicago, South Beach, was that what West Palm Beach, Florida? I guess that area down there. Yeah, this not just there, bro. Jacksonville, Florida. It ain't just there. Birmingham, Alabama is very violent. You don't hear about it because these areas are not necessarily high grossing revenue areas where you have major interests, business interests. California has 41 million people. California has what is it? We have not we I don't know shit. California has what 56 out of the 500 Fortune 500 companies in America. Man, that's crazy, bro. So there's a lot of financial interest in this state, and it's coming from the right side and the left side. So when you see politics in California, the right side is signing off on this because of the tax gross revenue that California generates with 41 million people here, and with all the strongest businesses and tech companies in the world: Tesla, Amazon, Facebook, Twitter, Apple, Dell Computers, McAfee. Wow, we can just go on E-Trade. I mean, we can just go on and on. Every top company in the world is in California. So therefore, it drives the rent up. It drives these pristine neighborhoods up right outside of Newport Beach, the canals. I don't know if y'all know where that is, the canals, very elite, rich area. Man, they had a illegal immigrant over there raping women and beating them down, not just less than 3 months ago. So, man, it's wild. Yeah, it's wild out here because there's money out here. There's dough. There's money. And I was telling y'all, in LA, y'all think we so restricted. LA has more gun shops and places to buy ammo than anywhere in California. You saw that. That's why I put the clip up with the dude robbing a gun store. Now, I love that ex-Marine. You heard what he said. He said, hey, man, I got my own weapons. I'll come out here and do night watch. I was like, man, I love that cat right there, man. Shout out to the Marine Corps. Ooh, wow, yeah. He said, I'll come out here and do my own night watch. So, yeah, man, it's rough. It's wild. The summer ain't even over yet. It's what we at June, July. We mid-flight. We on the second half of the summer. It's getting crazy. I told you it was gonna get wild and crazy. So, best time ever to buy an AR-15. Might as well get that out the way. Put it on. Just go ahead. Get that off your list because you're gonna need one of these at some point. You're gonna need one of these. Because we got a lot of stuff going on, and we still got to deal with all these foreign nationalists coming over here. Now, my buddy sent me a link. Not my buddy, but a guy on one of my posts said he lives up in the Pomona area. Where does he live? Can't remember where he lived, but I know where he lives, where the area was at. But he said that he was cruising down the street, and he saw a whole Chesneyan group huddled all up in the whole area, like tents and stuff, and Chesney. So. And they're known for terrorists. They're known for extreme groups and stuff like that. And they over here in LA. They posted up in LA now. So it's wild, bro. And so not only do we got to deal with our own American savages, shout out to T Electric, we got to deal with all these foreign nationalist savages coming over here. And they're not afraid to shoot police. They were saying that they arrested a guy recently that shot at the I think it was NYPD. And the dude said straight up, he said, in Venezuela, we don't trust the police, so we shoot them. So, and I think they was on a moped robbery, a little moped gang that was riding around on mopeds, one on the back. So if you see cats riding around on motorcycles or e-bikes and they doubled up and they look strong and healthy men, they're looking to jack. No, they're not carpooling. They're not going to work. They're not going to church. They're looking to rob somebody, do a snatch and grab because they're grabbing the phones, they're grabbing all these electronic devices, they taking them to a chop house, have them white, put them back on the market, or use them for criminal acts. So that's what that was about. And those guys flat out, excuse me, and those guys flat out said that, yeah, in Venezuela, the cops are corrupt, so we shoot the police. See what I'm saying? So that's what we're up against right now. And another thing I was going to point out, if you can't afford to, if there's any women watching this and you're a single mom and you got children at home and stuff like that, you need definitely to get armed and have you something like this, because you ain't got time to be reloading and using a wheel gun, a revolver, and all that kind of stuff. These cats coming in heavily armed, and so you need to have something that can just, you can put rounds down range right back at them, because even though they act like they tough and all that, once one of these whiz by their forehead, they're gonna retreat. You're gonna retreat. Even law enforcement, anybody who has a bullet flying at them, or you're gonna retreat. And that's why it's good to be armed, so you can have that, you can fight back with that same lethality. Um, and it's a problem right now. It's a real problem. And like I said, stop like being antagonistic toward people who live in restricted states, New York, California, Chicago, because even in those states, it's not the whole state. Like in Chicago, it's Cook County, man. That's the restricted area, because that's the inner city. Okay. When you go to New York, it's the boroughs they're talking about. Once you go upstate, Syracuse and New Berlin and way up there, it's some cats from New York that can tap in on this. Man, they don't have no gun restrictions really, because it's away from the mass populace. Same with Florida. Once you get to the panhandle part of Florida, you don't see all that restriction that you see in Jacksonville. Even though Florida is a free state, anybody can carry. Ron DeSantis put that on the books, but we saw that U.S. Air Force airman got shot down by a sheriff. So that goes to show, again, law enforcement don't want legally armed civilians armed. So we need to stop that rhetoric about restricted this, restricted that. We're all restricted. If you ain't paying attention, our state, we're in a fucking communist nation already. It's just certain areas that got more interest to do this kind of stuff, but we're in bed with communism. We are definitely in bed with the communists. We're in bed with China. We're in bed with South Korea. We're in bed with Vietnam. All these countries that we're in bed with, using them for slave labor to create products like my iPhone and all that kind of stuff. And then we come back and sell it to the American consumers and act like we don't know anything about it. That's why I don't get caught up on that global warming, Environmental Protection Act, and all that EPA, all that shit. How is America going to be policing the environment when they over there sending half their products to China, who don't give a shit about the environment, and they act like the pollution just stays in China? I mean, it's whack, bro. Our country is under siege. They're selling us out. The only chance we got is for us to all get armed. Got the KSG right here, in case y'all haven't seen it in a while. I don't know if y'all seen. Shout out to 2A Ninja. He hooked me up with that Midwest Industries shell holder right there. Okay, so I had got a couple extra rounds I can carry on this bad boy. Right now inside of this thing, I got 22 minis up in here, and you can see right here. I'll showing y'all how you can tell if a KSG is loaded. You can see the little red and the brass right there. 22 minis up in here. 22 minis, got 13 on the side. Okay. You got 7 right here, and you got 6 right here. And if you saw that one home invasion when those dudes came in that house with broad daylight, if somebody would have been home sitting on the couch and had this, you remember, key word, if you were sitting at home and you had this right next to you on your couch, you could have went down range, bop one of them, put one of these down there. You probably could get 2 for 1, because that's a skinny jean mafia. So they all you gotta do is get one. They right behind each other, and boom, you get 2 for 1. So that's why it's nice to have a shotgun or something. But a shotgun is really nice for home defense. Like I said, I did some testing. Y'all saw my videos. I shot the minis. I didn't shoot birdshot, but I saw somebody else do a video on birdshot, and I'm gonna be honest with you, birdshot is lethal at 9 yards and in. Man, don't let nobody fool you with birdshot and your shotgun for home defense. And you don't have to worry about overpenetration either. But man, oh man, it's pretty lethal. And the mini shells did very well too. Very devastating. It softens the recoil a little bit more, so you can get multiple shots down. And so a shotgun, it ain't got to be a KSG. I am not advertising KSG. I don't advertise no firearms. Like, ooh, buy this, buy that. You can buy whatever you want. I'm just saying I like the KSG because I'm in a restricted state. So this is a way around the capacity. I got 22 minis up in here. Okay. If I need more than 22 minis and 13 on the side, then, it was definitely an assassination attempt. It's not just a home invasion. They came to really get me. So that's why I got the KSG. 6+1 shotgun, 7+1, 5+1. Those are fine and dandy. But if you got multiple savages coming through your door, it'd be nice to know that I could rack this thing 22 times before I have to reload. 22 times I can, and if I want to do full shells, then I can have 14+1. That's still 14 shots before I have to reload. Okay, I can do a combination. I can have one tube with 11 minis in it. I can have another tube with 7 2¾ if I want, or have one tube with 3-inch shell. It don't matter. But the bottom line, I'm getting more than 5 to 6 shots out of my shotgun. Okay. Now, what I did do, I'm gonna let y'all know, I did take that rear sight off because I needed space to put this Midwest Industry thing on, and it was getting kind of congested right there. And I'm a firm believer of having a flashlight on my home defense firearms. But I was just thinking about it. I don't really need a rear sight if I got an optic and I got a front sight. I'm pointing anyway. I'm not going to be going through there. It's got a nice window, you know, but I'm not going to really be going. I'm just going to be pointing and shooting anyway. So that's why I took that rear sight off. Let me know how y'all think that looks. Does that look a little better? You know, let's see how that looks. See if I can get y'all a really good angle. How that looks with the without that rear sight on there. But yeah, that's why you want to have your firearms right next to you, man. You don't want to have them like in the set, sitting at home watching TV, watching Jeopardy or whatever, and you hear boop, 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 and then all of a sudden you got to run and grab your gun. No, it's got to be right next to you. And so all I got to do is activate this, is take my safety off, boom. Now, what I do, since this is a tube selector, it has that tube selector. So a lot of people who own a KSG, and if you don't, this is an extended selector. Make sure you have that thing on one of your tubes already when you're in home defense mode, because you might forget to flip that over and it ain't gonna fire if you got it in the middle. So it needs to be on either side, the left tube or the right tube, to make that thing activate. Now I got it in the middle because I'm doing YouTube, so this is kind of like a safety for a KSG. This is kind of like a safety. So you have to have that on one of the tubes to get rounds off, and then when that tube's empty, then you flip it over to the other tube. Okay, but again, the beautiful part about this, you got 22 shells, so you got 11 shots in each tube. So you ain't got to switch over really until after 11 shots, and that way it's a great setup. Really, it's a great setup for home defense. Someone was saying that Tavor, I saw last week, I said, oh man, at Tavor, the shells pop out on this side, but I guess you can order to Tavor for the shells to pop out on either side. But I still think the KSG is a little better in that aspect than the Tavor, because the shells drop off at the bottom. So this makes this a 100% ambidextrous shotgun. If you bought a Tavor, you're right-handed, the shell's gonna pop out on that side, left-handed this side. But if you got to give it to someone and they're not that hand, now the shells are popping all in their face. So brilliant concept by the KSG, putting the bolt carrier group in the back to get around the inches and stuff like that. So this is just a little bit bigger than a Shockwave, to be honest with you. So that's why I like the shotgun for the home defense. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fire. It's a very powerful firearm, very destructive. It does major damage to soft tissue. Not many people come back from getting hit by shotgun shells in their chest. I mean, it's very devastating, man. Very, very devastating. Again, try to have you some kind of belt set up, whatever. And then one thing I want to point out also is that if you hear a bump in your door and you got surveillance and you see the savages coming into your home and you see them, don't say like, "What are you doing here? Get out!" Let them come in. Okay, you just gotta man up or woman up. Let them come in, because remember, you already ready. So you already ready. You sitting back at the house, and you're like this, boom, and you hear something. You look in the camera, it's like, oh, the savage is coming. So now you activate, boom. You go into activation mode. Hit your little safety selector, boom. Hit safety off, and then you just let them get right where you want them to get. Let them get all the way in, and just start letting loose. Blah blah blah. Blah, just start letting loose. Don't scare them off, because if you scare them off, they know where you live already. Or if you say, I got a gun or something like that, now they know you got a gun, and they're going to try to catch you when you're not home to try to do some damage to you. And then, because they will come back. I mean, I had a guy tell me that he was at work. Was it yesterday at work? He said he heard somebody breaking into his truck outside of his house, and he went out there and he beat the dude's butt, whooped his ass, boom, 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 put hands all on him, boom, 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 boom. And then the dude was running off, and he said, "Get the fuck out of here!" And the dude was running off. And the dude, when he was running off, the dude told him, "I'll be back." Now this dude didn't even call the police. He just thought like, "Oh, I'll just handle it myself." And so, sure enough, him and his buddy. So he called his buddy and said, "Hey man, I beat this dude up trying to break in my car." And so then he had him and his buddy stayed. He told him to stay with him for the night, and they stayed in there at night. And it was like 10:30 at night, and they turned all the lights off, and they were sitting there. And sure enough, dude saw him on a surveillance camera. Came back, and dude was trying to bust into. He came through the back door, and they was ready, and they lit his ass up. Lit that motherfucker up. Shot him like 22 times with handguns. Lit him up, and they beat the case. It was in Riverside County, another county that's pro 2A in the state of California. Anybody who lives in Riverside County, anybody don't know where Riverside County is? That's the cities like Corona, Riverside, Murrieta, Temecula. Those are Riverside County cities. I think Chino, that's a Riverside County city. Wildomar, Paris, Perris. That used to be the home base for Safari Land. If y'all know about Safari Land, they out of Paris, California. They used to. I think their headquarters there, their corporate headquarters there, but I think they moved their manufacturing out of there. So yeah, man. They'll come back. They will actually come back. They'll tell you they'll come back. And then he came back armed. So he was pissed off because he got his ass beat, obviously. But the dude lost his life because he tried to come back and do bodily harm to this cat. So that's why you want to let them come in. Don't be doing all that little pretend racking, like don't be doing all that. That's just giving away your position, and you letting them know that you have a firearm. So just go ahead, let them get in. Or if you see them, like they still outside, and you see them coming in, rack it, and then have it ready. And then as soon as you get into that range, pop, 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 let them have it. So that's the only deterrent. People think that you can do a whole lot of other stuff, but there's nothing really much you can do if somebody wants to try to do a home invasion on you. But what you can do is you can be prepared. That's the only thing you really can do. But you got to train also, though, because if you ain't really training and you ain't shot your firearms in a while, you're gonna be nervous. But them criminals ain't gonna be nervous. So that's why you got to train, and also make sure you got a pistol. Now, if you don't want to have a big ass shotgun sitting on your lap the whole time watching Jeopardy, at least have something like this Glock 21. I guarantee you, this gonna lay him down. I can tell you that right now. You take one of these to the chest, yeah, you ain't coming back. And that's this 230 grains right here. Yeah, you're not gonna really be feeling too swell after you get one of these popped inside your chest. And clear firearm, YouTube, nothing in the chamber, safe direction. Yeah, you're not gonna feel really swell after the end of the day if you take a couple of these to the chest. And that's why you want to have a nice thumper for your home defense firearm by your bedside, your table, your dinner table when you eating or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Have something like this, and that'll give you a sense of security. Now, me personally, that is my home defense pistol by my bedside, and this is my home defense shotgun by my bedside. So I'm always pretty much prepared. And then if I'm like sitting at the dinner table and this is laying up by my bed, I'm not really worried about that too much either, because I pretty much always have something on me. So you know what I'm saying? So I got my Glock 23 right here. This is going to be on me pretty much in the house, just walking around, whatever it may be. So that way, if I have to go out to the car real quick or go to the grocery store or wherever it may be, I ain't got to go find a gun because I know I got one already on me. And this one stays ready, locked and loaded, good to go. So you just got to get used to having a firearm in today's society. You just got to get used to having a firearm on you, ready to go nearby, because it's in your home. You see it a little bit out in the general public, but outside awareness is a whole different ball game. Maybe I'll do a video on that later. But we're talking about home invasions, and we're talking about the importance of being armed, ready to go, and not relying on surveillance and thinking that, oh yeah, the camera's going to deter. They're not going to deter. Okay. And that guy brought a good point up. If the cop said like, oh yeah, you need to talk to your neighbors and y'all should know what cars are on your blocks and stuff like that. Well, for me, that's normal. I've been already up on that tip, like looking at cars on the street and all that kind of stuff. But again, that ain't gonna really help either because you got people coming to visit, stuff like that. That ain't gonna really give you too much of an indicator. I don't know what that cop talking about. That ain't gonna really give you a real jump on a criminal because you might see a different car on your block, but it could be your neighbor's son came home from college, or you got relatives who visiting. So all that. But I think what the guy was saying that maybe you should be I was telling y'all that you need to talk to your neighbors and be like, man, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Ooh, you barbecuing, man? Say, come over and get something to eat. Get to know the people that are living in your vicinity. And then you can get into details like, okay, I'm going to Tahoe for the weekend, man. Could you watch my house? It shouldn't be nobody over here by my house. There should be no cars coming there. And then that little intel can help. But just sitting back in your house, just minding your own business and being like, oh, I don't see nothing. That's how you really become a victim. So I thought that was a good point. It shouldn't be a point. That's something that everybody should do is be kind of courteous, aware of their neighbors and things of that nature, and that will definitely help you, as far as like getting the drop. The hell? Oh yeah, getting the drop on those home invaders before they actually get to your house. Now, this angle foregrip, shout out to 28 Ninja, I like it, but the one thing I noticed on this, I can't put my bipod on there. I can't put this on here because there's no space for it no more. Even though I don't use that too much, but in light of what's going on, I think I kind of want to put this back on there because I might have to drop down in the prone or something to get some good shots on if somebody want to come in. But I like that angle foregrip though. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm not used to these. It's pretty good. That definitely gives you a nice purchase on there. I like that a little bit. But yeah, we got to really pay attention to what's going on and make sure that we are armed and make sure that you have multiple firearms like ready to go. Have multiple firearms ready to go in case some shit pop off. 40 cal, man. Again, that's 185 grain. It's gonna be devastating to soft tissue. These cats ain't wearing body armor. Maybe some of them are. I don't know. But if they wearing body armor, then they probably came to assassinate you because they probably know you're armed and they know they're gonna get return fire. So I would not think for the most part that these cats are wearing body armor. So you'll be just fine with a heavy ballistic heavy cartridge like a 45 ACP or 10 mil or something like that. I like this because you have to worry about the over penetration. 10 mil is a little fast, and then, so. But you need something like this 40 cal or 45 ACP. Hell, even if you got 9mm or you got 22 LR, I don't care. Whatever you got, you better make sure it's right next to you because it ain't gonna do you no good being up in your gun safe when these cats come knocking at your door trying to take your life, man. And that's really important, man, to have it right next to you. And don't think just because it's daylight that's going to deter anybody. It's not. It's not going to deter anybody, man. It's just, they do daylight probably because they're reason why they do daylight is they think people are at work, particularly in some of these nice communities. They think because they're banking on the fact that you're at work. People got nice stuff work. But then again, we have a lot of people who work from home because people in tech tend to work from home. And there's a lot of tech employees that work at home. Then that's where you get caught up slipping, not having a firearm at your side, at your ready to go right next to you because you're over here hacking away on your computer. And then all of a sudden you hear bumping the door, and then you ain't prepared at all. You caught off guard. You got the baby in over here, and it's all bad, man. So that's why I say if you work from home, man or woman, you definitely need to have a gun right next to your computer while you're working at your workstation and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think, man. Like wherever you live, like I said, there's gonna be some people say, "Oh yeah, that's California because you can't defend yourself." Yeah, you can, bro. Don't let nobody say you can't. There's just people defending themselves all the time in California. It's just an ignorant rhetoric. They don't know shit about it. Most people who say stuff like that, they never even been to California. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you can pull up news reports all across the country. Midwest, down south, northeast, southeast, whatever. They robbing and doing the same shit that's happening out here. The only difference is when you get to those little rural areas where they don't even tell you about, like in Iowa and Missouri and uh, Kansas and Nebraska. Man, they be all kind of meth labs and fentanyl labs and people blowing shit up and often their own family members and stuff. You just don't hear about it because the media don't cover those areas. They glorify all the metropolitan areas because they have the most eyeballs on the news circuit. Okay, so if you're one of those people that live in a small little town, and you say, "Oh, that don't bother me. That don't happen to me." It's coming to your door soon. They don't, but your door is gonna be them illegals. They're not gonna be these cats. They're gonna be them cats coming from the southern border because they know they'll get their ass lit up if they come into a metropolitan area acting crazy like that. They know where they can go. Okay, they know where they can go and get away with this shit at. So don't be naive thinking just because you live in a rural Midwest countryside that you can't have this happen to you. It's that kind of mindset that it probably will happen to you. So just be prepared. Everybody needs to be prepared. Everybody needs to help protect each other. If you know your neighbors are good people, go over there and talk to them and conversate with them. Man, find out if they armed. Find out where they stand on all this stuff because that'll give you an indicator of how safe your actual community is, man. But I ain't gonna hold you guys too much long. It's a pretty long video, but I just want to pump that out there. Shout out to Silver and Black Entertainment. Hooked me up with this shirt right here. Okay, I thought this was pretty funny because this is a high point right here. That's hella funny. I thought that was funny. That was a high point. I was like, "Is that a high point?" He's like, "Yeah, that's a high point." So I thought that was funny. And this is my chain. This is my daughter. I had this made a long time ago, man. She about to go to college, so I'm getting a little sentimental. I had this made. I don't know if y'all can see that. I had this made. That's her when she was little, I think. Yeah, she was like about 10 or something. Man, no, she was about 8, something like that. I don't know if y'all can see that. When she first started playing softball, I had this made for a tournament. But so I'm starting to wear all this stuff again because I'm getting kind of sentimental about it now. But yeah, man, that's what I got for you guys, man. Get armed, get ready, get you a shotgun. A shotgun is an excellent home defense firearm. Still needs you an AR. Still needs you a pistol. I'm not saying you don't need this, but depends on your layout. You may not be able to pump off a bunch of 5.56 if you live in an apartment complex or close quarter dwelling where you don't know where these things are gonna go. Get you some jagged hollow points for these, and you should be fine, man. But definitely get if you these are two great options, not particularly KSG and DPMS. I'm just saying get an AR, get a shotgun, and that'll at least keep you at bay with some of these savages. And if you do decide to go get a shotgun, excuse me, definitely train on it because the recoils on shotguns it don't bother me, but it's something that you would have to get adjusted to because under the moment of intense situation in an intense situation, the recoil might throw you off. So again, training is number one. Getting the gun is number one, but training is the most important feature to owning a firearm or any kind of long gun is that you have to actually train with it. So with that being said, stock up on your ammo. That's what I'm doing. A lot of my range videos that's going to be coming up is going to be 22 LR and shotgun because that's what I have the most abundance of. And also the shotgun shells is not as bad right now. I think you can get a 5-pack of Rios for $4.95. That's not pre-COVID prices, but that's not too bad. With that new 11% sales tax and firearm tax in California, it really fucked everything up out here. But for the most part, you just got to still work with what you got, work inside of the laws of your state. Don't let nobody clown you. Go like, oh man, you got to pay 11% tax on it. So what, man? I mean, unless you're gonna move, I ain't moving anytime soon. So you just got to deal with what you got to deal with, and then keep it moving. But don't let people. I do notice this in the 2A community. There's a lot of quote unquote like supposedly supporters, but they're actually haters. They try to make fun of people who live in states like California, Chicago, and stuff like that. But these states are the backbone of this country when it comes to finances. You know what I'm saying? America's economy, California's economy is the third largest economy in the world, not the United States, the world. So with that being said, it's money out here, man. That's why people come here. But why you go to California? It's money out here. Why you go to California? Why you live in LA? Why you live in San? It's money, bro. It's money. It's income. Motherfuckers can feed their families. They can get almost double the pay, but they can get back east. And just for the record, a lot of these tech boys are from the East Coast. Do your homework. They're not from California. These cats are coming from like Florida, DC, Maryland, Virginia, New York. They're coming from the Midwest, Kansas, Missouri. They're coming from down south. Tech is it, man. That's why they pushing all this AI and stuff. They learned a lot during COVID. That was the beta testing right there. These companies' profit margin went up when they sent everybody home. So let's get off of that and let's get unified. I'm down for one thing, and I'm down for the United States of America. I'm not really necessarily down for California, New York, Chicago. I'm down for the United States of America to be a better country, to be the best we can be. And I'm down for the American people, man. That's what I'm down for. That's what I support. I don't give a fuck what state you in. I got your back no matter where you at. Then I think everybody should be that way instead of always hating on each other. That's why we in this hellhole. And all these foreign nationalists coming through the border, they seeing the dissension between red-blooded Americans, and they're gonna play off that. So let's get our act together. Let's clean things up. Let's be more proactive instead of negative. Right now, the frequency of the spirit of the human body is off globally. It's a lot of negativity, and so the only way we can combat that was with love and unity and look out for each other. Especially if you know a person is a law-abiding, tax-paying, God-fearing citizen. Why not have that person back instead of hating on them? We don't need nobody hating on good people, man. We need more good people. So that's what I got for you, man. It's your boy Eyes and Ears Tactical. Go ahead, arm up, get ready, stay in that low ready. Then you ain't got to get ready. Have you a nice little pistol ready to go, okay? And have you a shotgun? This is my home defense setup right here. This is what I got. I ain't afraid to show nobody. This is all I roll with right here. I don't roll with the AR-15 for home defense because my setup. But if I had to push out, if I had to, that's gonna be ready. That's always ready too. It just ain't my first two options. Number one is this. But if I see or hear something on the camera where it's multiple, then I'm grab this. But if I see them coming through the door with Dracos and ARs, oh hell no, I'm getting my AR. Yeah, I'm getting my AR, and I'm strategic with that thing. I am laser accurate with that thing right there. This mug right here, yes sir. Yeah, I don't mess with this. I don't mess with this, and I don't need this damn red dot. That's what I got that front post for. So yeah, this I'm not messing with this, man. No way. These things are super accurate. If you never shot an AR-15, man, I suggest you go ahead and get out there and shoot one of these, and you will see how accurate they are. Very low recoil. You can get multiple magazines with high capacity, and man, you will not look back. You will be proud of yourself once you get one of these, and then you train with it and get comfortable with it, and you won't have a problem. And some guys got in free state, some guys got short barrel rifles for home defense, and some guys got them suppressed, and so there's a lot of ways you can go with the AR-15, man. It's the American's rifle, man. It's a beautiful firearm, and this old boy right here is reliable. Now, that I was going to backtrack on the Tavor. That's a semi-auto shotgun. So what happens on that one? You just rotate the tubes and you keep firing. I always like pump shotguns. I probably won't own a semi-automatic shotgun. I ain't gonna say I'm not, but I got something coming, and it's a pump shotgun, and I just like the pump better because it's a lower chance of failure to feed. These things are tried and true. Pump shotguns, they just don't really jam, man. It's you can take that to the bank, man. But so I got for you, man. It's your boy Eyes and Ears Tactical, home invasions, gun shops getting robbed, all kind of stuff going down. Everybody just stay ready. You could be at a department store and probably see a smash and grab or a car back into something. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna be ready? And then you saw that gun stop robbery. Now that's like 85 something guns on the street, just like that. And don't think that those guns can't end up in a neighborhood near you. Y'all thinking just because it happened in LA that the gun's gonna stay in LA. That's not how criminal elements work. Those guns can end up in Louisiana. They can end up in Florida. They can end up in Colorado. They can end up anywhere in the United States because the criminal elements, that's how they operate. Just because they rob here don't mean the guns stay there. Okay. Same with drugs. Just because drugs are manufactured in Colombia or Peru or Mexico don't mean that cocaine and stuff, that fentanyl is going to stay there. Okay. Illicit drugs and firearms travel. The people may not, but the firearms and the product do. Okay. It's your boy Eyes and Ears Tactical, man. Let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all home defense setup is, what y'all rocking with. I would really like to know what y'all rocking with. And then I would really like to know, wherever you live, do you hear about these home invasions, but it just don't make the news? Just be honest. You ain't got to lie to me. Shit, you lying to yourself. Just tell the truth, man. If you live in a rural area and you hear about stuff like this, or people offing their family members off and stuff like that, drop a comment in the box. Let me know what's going on in your neighborhood. I'm not afraid to say what's going on in my state, in my neighborhood. It's nothing. It's because I don't run this whole state. I'm only one person. There's 40 million people here, so I don't break the law. I don't rob people. So I just try to give reports on what's going on, what I see. And like I said, I don't. It's no embarrassment. It's no shame. It's just what it is. Maybe it could help somebody. You know what I'm saying? So y'all do the same, man, and y'all stay safe and stay ready, stay prepared, train, and get your ammo up, man. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.